Hello everyone, my name is Sabrina Chow and I'm a student in English 107. In this video, I'm going to talk about the research I conducted after watching a TED Talk by Simona Francis. When I was searching for videos that fit my project, I crossed by one of Simona Francis' videos, which it was titled, "Could we detect breast cancer with fingerprint?" I'm curious about how can a cancer, which is a complicated disease, detected by just a simple fingerprint. Breast cancer is the most common cancer among women. My grandmother's friend was diagnosed with breast cancer and needed to undergo surgery to remove her breast. Even after the surgery, she still needs to be regularly monitored and followed up. This is a tough process to go through, and it can happen to people around us or even ourselves. Therefore, regular checkups are very important. Although we can do mammograms to detect this disease, using fingerprints to detect breast cancer is completely non-invasive. There is no rejection and pain associated with it, as Francis said in the video. Before talking about my research question, I want to refer to another TED Talk video titled "Culture Bias and Stigma Associated with Cancer," presented by Niyati Tamaskar. Let's watch a short clip of video first.
3.5 million. That is the number of women currently living in the United States with a history of breast cancer. Every 8 minutes, a woman dies of cervical cancer in India. 18.1 million new cases of cancer were diagnosed worldwide in 2018.
Also, in Simona Francis' TED Talk, she said,
A recent survey of 2,000 women, and a staggering 21% said that the embarrassment of being topless and the fear of pain would actually prevent them from undertaking screening. Okay? And women know that it's so important to take up the screening, but this still happens.
The discomfort of mammograms may discourage some women from getting tested, leading to many cases of breast cancer being diagnosed at a later stage. Therefore, my research question is based on screening, which I want to ask, how do mammograms work? Using this picture here, we can note that mammograms use an X-ray to detect breast cancer. Also, it requires compression to spread out the breast tissue, and I think this is the reason why some people may be afraid of undergoing them. After reading the 7 sources related to breast cancer, I developed 2 themes. The first one is cultural beliefs can strongly influence whether women choose to undergo screenings. And the second one is abnormal expression of CCM proteins can lead to breast cancer. So, let's first talk more about how cultural beliefs influence women to undergo screenings. Based on a research by Sanabria et al., they said that through the conversations with IPS and LBCS, some participants discussed how even the topic of cancer is taboo and difficult to discuss, impacting their ability to cope with the diagnosis. Family members, including their partners, at times refuse to acknowledge their loved one has cancer. Instead, they refer to cancer as the illness and never saying the word cancer. I refer this information back to Niyati Tamaskar's TED Talk. She said,
I was aware that in my culture, cancer is a taboo topic. I grew up in India where there is an indelible shame surrounding cancer. And I knew what some of these underlying notions were. It must be karma. You're paying for your sins. The result of immoral behavior, a modern lifestyle. And if all else fails, it's the evil eye. This belief that an unkind gaze and jealousy can cause misfortune.
As I mentioned before about my grandmother's friend, she always undergoes chemotherapy without any accompaniment. I think breast cancer become a topic that we are afraid to talk about in our society. Next, theme 2 is about CCM protein. Simona Francis once said in her TED Talk,
We trained a machine learning algorithm to recognize the protein patterns coming from women with early breast cancer, benign, and metastatic.
I want to know the abnormal proteins that lead to breast cancer. CCM proteins' abnormal function can lead to breast cancer, but what are the CCM proteins? According to the research from Ahmed et al., they stated that CCNs are a specific type of matricellular protein, which are essential signaling molecules and play multiple roles in multicellular eukaryotes. In the normal cells, CCN proteins control cell growth, repair, and adhesion. I compared the function of CCN proteins in normal cell and breast cancer cell according to the research from Ahmed et al. Based on the table, in cancer cell, CCN1 is overexpressed, which the gene is producing more protein than normal. Therefore, it promoted tumor growth. CCN2 promotes tumor invasion by breaking down surrounding tissue. CCN3 has anti-proliferative properties, which slows down cell growth, therefore prevents tumor from growing larger. CCN4 promotes tumor initiation. CCN5 is a tumor suppressor. And the last one, CCN6. The loss of CCN6 leads to increased metastasis. I listed out 3 conclusions after watching the TED Talk and doing the research. First, mammograms, or as we said, screening, is a general method to detect breast cancer. However, after researching on this topic, we can note that women are afraid to undergo screening because they're concerned about being painful or because of the cultural beliefs. Second, using fingerprint to detect breast cancer can be a painless process. Third, we should encourage women to undergo regular checkup to reduce the chance of getting breast cancer. I want to thank my group members Paige and Ashley for helping me to organize the ideas and checking my video. Thanks for watching.